He read with fire in his brain through the afternoon. The next day, he rushed through Virgil so that he could read again. Day after day through the week, he read, the fire heating him, while outside the sea breeze grew colder and colder. And soon there wasn't a single maple it hadn't nipped, or a single oak whose leaves it hadn't curled to a crispness. When Saturday came around, Turner spent the morning with Darwin. He finished in a breathless run just before the 3 ringing bells and ran down Parker Head, carrying the fire in his hands. He would not warm anyone at First Congregational with it. He had promised his father. But he could warm Lizzie. He was at Mrs. Cobb's by the last toll of the Congregational bells, but Lizzie was not there. Still, the fire burned red in him, and when Turner played for Mrs. Cobb, he marched briskly through the Battle Hymn, then drove through Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, until it was swinging mighty low and mighty fast. He kept listening for the knock on the back door. It did not come, and after playing long enough for even Mrs. Cobb to shush him out, he waited on the back porch. But Lizzie never came. When she did not come on Sunday afternoon either, the fire in him weakened to a smolder. He played the organ slowly so that Mrs. Cobb said she had never heard Shall We Gather at the River played so mournfully. I'm not about to say my last words this afternoon, Turner Buckminster. No, ma'am. So play something a little cheerier. He played a Blood and Thunder hymn, and Mrs. Cobb clapped to it. Yes, she said, those hymns about eternal lakes of fire are always so jaunty, aren't they? Play another. And he tried to find one equally hearty in its pleasures of damnation, but he was smoldering so low that he could not keep the tempo up. Turner felt about as low as a raft set loose on the New Meadows River. Where's that Negro girl been? Asked Mrs. Cobb suddenly. I don't know, said Turner. I don't know where she's been, and I'm not allowed to go down to find out, and I don't even know if she's there anymore, if she's gone with everyone else on the island, and Lord knows they haven't done a single thing that calls for people being so awful to them and taking away their home, and I haven't even said goodbye if she's gone, that is. He stopped to breathe. Mrs. Cobb looked at him, startled, with eyes as wide as daybreak. You said all that in one breath. I suppose. She nodded and looked down at her hands, gripping her knee. I've gotten to like her, too, awfully much. I didn't say I liked her. Turner Buckminster, you don't have to be a minister's son all the time. You don't have to be a minister's son all the time. You don't have to be a minister's son all the time. Turner had never thought he could ever, at any time, be anything else. The thought shivered him, as if he had almost touched a whale. I do like her, he said. Of course you do. And it doesn't matter a damn. Yes, even old ladies cuss. It doesn't matter a damn what anyone else in the town of Phippsburg has to say about it. It doesn't matter what anyone else in the whole state of Maine has to say about it. Turner nodded. And if anyone has anything to say about it, it should be me. You, Mrs. Cobb? Yes, me, Turner Buckminster. You don't think people haven't been talking about me letting this colored girl into my house to hear you play? Next thing, they'll be taking me down to Pownell. Yes, I know all about Mrs. Hurd. That son of hers sending her to Pownell so he can sell her house and invest the money. You think there's any other reason? She shook her head solemnly. Turner stood up from the organ. That's right. Go find out about her as fast as you please, and faster.